Welcome back to the channel, guys. Now hopefully you're not here because you misread the thumbnail title. In this video we're going to be looking at the JJRC C8815. This is a 1/10 scale hard-bodied Willys Jeep, and as you can see on the box, 1/10 scale, 2.4 gigahertz. A brief background into the Willys Jeep history, picture of the actual car, a few things that make no sense whatsoever, and on the back of the box some of the features are shown. One quick thing to mention, the front of the box shows the open top standard Willys Jeep here. On the rear of the box you can see it with a canopy, and it also has an additional winch. Now the canopy and the winch are actually sold separately. So inside the box you're going to find a little bag with an instruction sheet, a small screwdriver, a USB charger, a 2-cell 500 milliamp LiPo battery. In addition, I got the canopy, which is folded in this little bag, and the additional winch. This military green radio transmitter. It has a steering trim, there's a button to turn on your searchlight, and there's a retract and release buttons for the winch. Standard controller, nothing special about it. Okay, for the first look at this Willys Jeep, you will see that it's actually very detailed. There's a folding window here, clips in place, and it has the windscreen wipers on here. There's a little mirror on there. There's a lift up hood or bonnet, depending which country you're from, and of course that houses the battery, and there's the battery connector there. There's a little searchlight on the front which you can turn on with the controller. A single wing mirror here, seats inside, a removable jerry can on the back, spare wheel and tire, an axe and a shovel accessory on the side here. We've got headlights, we've got indicators, we've got rear lights and brake light. There's even a detailed little dashboard inside here. And you'll also notice this little folding thing here, which can be removed, is actually the piece that props up the canopy. On the underside you will find a front and rear solid axle, 2 metal chassis rails. There is a 3-wire micro servo in there that will obviously control the steering links here. Inside the solid axles, those diffs are totally locked. There is a plastic drive shaft front and rear. The outdrive cups are also made of plastic, and there is a plastic skid plate here. This little hatch with the on-off switch is where your ESC and receiver combo will be inside. There's even a little exhaust pipe on the bottom here. The suspension is simulated leaf spring suspension. Now it'll be interesting to see how those work out. As you can see, they do work, but there's not an awful lot of give in there. The tires are rubber and they're non-foam filled, but they're a little bit hard. We're not looking at a crawler, don't forget. We are looking at a scale RC model. Now you probably did notice there is a steering wheel here, and yes, that does turn along with the steering. So you can see, guys, I have fixed the winch. Now it wasn't too hard to fit on. You do have to think about the wire management going through the chassis and going into the receiver a little bit, and I've kind of laid the canopy on top. Now there's a problem with the canopy. It's not a design fault, but due to my huge giant-sized fingers, these little straps are extremely fiddly, and I'm not sure I can be bothered to tie those down. Now it kind of looks like that. I guess it looks better on the photo. Yes, they've tied it down and they've made it taut, but I kind of think I prefer it without the canopy on, to be honest with you. Okay, not bad for speed. Not bad for speed. Like I said, the turning radius isn't brilliant. We still got to find a driver figure though. I've got no one in mind. We need someone, you know, badass enough to fit into this hard-bodied Willys Jeep. Okay, so I found our test location for today. Now let's give this JJRC C8815 a little test. Nothing too hard, nothing too rough. It's not a crawler, don't forget. Let's try this rocky crawling terrain. Oh yeah, and before I forget, driver figure. Let's go. Now, to be honest, the leaf spring suspension is not terrific on terrain like this. Like I said, it is what it is. It's not meant to be. It's a scaled RC toy. And scale-wise, that just literally drove over a huge tree stump. Some rough terrain coming out for Harley in her Jeep today. Oh, that did surprisingly well. I was expecting it to flip. Damn it. Now, a normal crawler would have cleared that. Unfortunately, I don't have the turning radius. I'll tell you what, guys, it's actually doing a lot better than I thought it would. I mean, yes, it doesn't have the ground clearance of a conventional crawler, but yeah, surprisingly, it climbed some of the inclines pretty well. Haven't even used the winch yet, but it pretty much does what it's meant to. I mean, it drives, goes forwards, turns right, left, right. There is some moderate speed on it. It climbs uphill well until you reach something high enough to block its wheel clearance. Could just give it beans, I guess. That looks a bit difficult. Let's try it anyway. That way. Oh, it's going to do it. It wants to. Go on. Go on, Harley. You can do it. You know what? I forgot we have a winch. She should winch herself up, right? I mean, that would be the logical thing to do rather than trying to power out of it, right? So I think the hardest thing to do right now is to film, drive one-handed, control the winch and control the car at the same time. But anyway, others have done it, I'm sure I can. Retract. Oops. Come on, winch. I think Harley has slightly removed herself from the blue tack a little bit. I'm actually enjoying this much more than I thought I would. I mean, I'm not often a crawler guy. Like I said, it's not really a crawler, but I'm finding this more challenging than having an actual crawler, because I know the car has limitations and you're finding even more ways to surpass them. It's a $65 car, guys. What more do you want? And it looks absolutely superb, right? And look at it. And judging by the big smile on Harley Quinn's face, you could say Harley Quinn really loves her Willys. Apparently she wants to complain to Mr. J about my driving today. Whoever Mr. J is. I have no idea who Mr. J is, Harley. Sounds like a joker to me. Like I said, guys, this JJRC C8815 has surpassed my expectations. I didn't expect it to make any of this track, to be honest with you. I thought I was just going to make a funny video of a cheap RC car failing at everything it does. I'm glad to report I'm quite happy to be proved wrong. Alright guys, so that's about all I've got time for today with this JJRC C8815 Willys Jeep, hard-bodied. You know, it did pretty well. I mean, it looks magnificent, and I guess you could make it look even better with some weathering, just using simple Tamiya, you know, weathering paints. You can get them in most model shops, and it performed much better than I thought it would. It actually did a lot better, and surprising. It did have its limitations, of course, but those were expected. Now, if you want to buy this JJRC Willys Jeep, the link is down below to the link at Best Buy Boxes. You can buy the standard version, or for an extra $10 you can buy the version with the canopy and the winch. And if you don't like Harley Quinn for some reason, you can always buy the Nathan Drake action figure, which they're also selling on the same website. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a like. Please don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. But in the meanwhile, please feel free to enjoy one of these.